Good evening once again. And thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to come to Ahmedabad. I've been longing to come here, come to be with you, to speak amongst you. It's been 1.5 years now. I remember the last time I was here in the same hall was 30th March 2012. And I'm sure many of you were present in the hall when I spoke about the 3 Ps. After this, of course, many things have changed. I've been moving around quite a bit out of Mumbai, all over India. And in the meantime, got some opportunity to pen down my experiences while meeting people, while going through my healing sessions, talking and sharing experiences with all my clients, all the good friends, and all of you. And happy to present this, all these experiences, all these notes what I had with me in the form of a book, which is the Keys. What I'm going to do now, I'll just give you a brief on what this is all about, then it will be an open question answer session. You can ask me whatever questions you have on this topic. So let's go ahead. Thank you very much, Dr. Prashant and Tasneem, for your enlightening words about the book, and thank you that you liked the book. Can you hear me? Is that okay? Okay. So we are talking about happiness. We are talking about a fulfilling life and what HLP means for this fulfilling life. Okay. Let's look at the timeline. We all know timeline from our social media pages. We know the timeline. Let's look at the timeline of life. Looks something like this, where we have something called the past and the future. Okay? The past is whatever has gone back, and the future which is yet to come. There is something else which Prashant Bhai has already so beautifully mentioned, the present moment. All right. I call these 3 dimensions of our life: the past, present, and future. Now, most often what happens in our lives is that we are not really living in this present moment. What we are actually doing is either being emotional or crying about the past, regrets, guilt, anger, so many emotions which we go through about our past instances, right? Or we are scared about our future. We are insecure. We have fear. What's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen next month, next year, maybe 10 years later? I don't know. And we live either in the regrets, guilts, angers of the past, or the fears and insecurities of the future, or both. In the process, we are missing out all the goodies being given to us by the present moment, by this particular moment. All the goodies, the happiness, the relationships, good health, right? We are actually missing life itself. And that is where the concept of HLP comes. The HLP principle, which I am introducing through this book, gives us a tool to take the life in both our hands and live life happily in a fulfilling way. So let's see what HLP stands for. How does it how does it help us in our life? The first dimension we call as the past. Now look at the past. What is it all about? If you think about any instance, of course, if they are good incidences, you are happy. If they are good memories, you feel very good about it. But if there are instances or incidences or memories which which gives you some kind of bitter feeling or some kind of a feeling which you don't like, it may be a regret. Oh, I should have done that. I used to like a girl in my college. I should have proposed her then. How many of you agreed with me like that? Or maybe, I always wanted to be a photographer. My father said I should become an engineer. And that's where I am. I became an engineer. Or a singer. I have a regret that I should have done something which I could not, and now of course the time has passed. Or the guilt of the past. Oh, why did I do that? I remember one incident. I'll share that incident with you. It's a very, it's a funny incident for me, but I still remember that incident after so many years. I was probably in 9th standard, and those days we used to have Luna, Luna moped, and we didn't have a garage of our own, so I used to keep it in somebody else's garage, and many people used to keep their vehicles in that garage. Even the garage owner used to keep his vehicle, and all it was, it was very easy. People used to agree those days. Now, one day, it was completely, the Luna had no petrol, completely dried petrol tank, and I had to reach the petrol pump. I said, क्या फर्क पड़ता है? बगल में एक गाड़ी खड़ी हुई है. Let me just, who will see me? Nobody is looking at me. So let me just take some petrol out of that and put in my vehicle. Normally, yeah, I mean, I'm sure many would agree with these things. These things happen. And I started doing that without even thinking twice. Suddenly, the owner of the garage comes. Arey, kya kar rahe ho? Oh, I was like shaken. Oh, nothing. I was just checking whether there's petrol in your vehicle. That incident has come and gone. He didn't say anything to me. It's been more than 25 years. I still remember that incident. And when I remember that incident, along with, of course, this funny feeling, something else happens inside me. Is that guilt? I shouldn't have done that. Maybe. Right? There might be so many instances where my grandmom used to be like, please come, you have to have dinner, this, that. I said, no, I want to go out with friends. One day I passed my exam, I came home, I told I passed, and she said, oh wow, good, I will prepare something good for you. I said, no, I'm going out with friends. I just went out, had dinner, came back. She didn't say anything. She has passed away many years back. Today I feel, did I hurt her? What was she asking for? Just my attention. She was feeling happy that I have passed an exam, and she wanted to prepare something good for me. Just a simple thing. And I was like full of, probably, I was a student, I passed an exam, I wanted to go out with friends. So I just said, no, I'm going out. And that feeling is still there. The guilt, the anger, the frustration, the regrets of the past. Right? I call them emotional baggage. And we all carry emotional baggage. Day in and day out, for many, many years together. This is our situation, in fact. Right? And we feel, why am I not moving ahead in life? Why am I not moving in the same speed I would have wanted to? Something is pulling me back. Something is there which is making my journey difficult, which is making it heavier, which is making it tough for me to move ahead in life. My emotional baggage. What should I do with that? How do I cope with my emotional baggage? We all say bygones are bygones. It's a common saying, right? Bygones are bygones. Is it really true? Can we just forget our past and move on? No. We have to do something with that, right? We have to address those incidents of the past which are giving us those guilt, anger, regret, all the negative feelings. What we really need to do is to heal the past. Bygones are not really bygones, it's only a myth. We need to heal our past. That's where this H comes from, healing our past. How do we do that? As a regression therapist, many clients come to me, I have this problem, I have that problem. So many years back something has happened to me. There's a very important and powerful mantra to heal your past. We say, reliving is relieving. Got my point? Reliving is relieving. It's a process which I take people into. We all can do it anytime. Go back to that particular incident, relive that incident as if it is happening now. The emotions will come out. Everything will, you'll start crying, you'll start, all those negative emotions, everything will come out. But then you are releasing those suppressed emotions. And once they are released, they are no longer going to affect you, no longer going to hurt you in future. So reliving is relieving is a very, very powerful mantra. Okay, and that's actually a part of the book where I'm talking about how we can heal our past. There is another important tool which I'm sure you all know to heal your past. And that tool is called forgiveness. Forgiveness is a tool or a sword by which we can cut the strings of the past. Forgiveness is something by which we detach ourselves from our past miseries. You can forgive people who have hurt you, or you can forgive yourself if you have hurt other people or done anything which is wrong to other people. But mind you, forgiveness is not for others. If you say that इसने मुझसे ऐसा कुछ बुरा किया था, how can I forgive that person? But forgiveness is not really about others. Forgiveness is about you. That person may or may not exist in your life anymore. You have moved on, but the hurt still remains. So by forgiving, you are actually helping yourself come out of that particular emotional hurt. By forgiveness, you are helping yourselves move on. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning. It doesn't mean you are condoning the act of that particular person. It basically means that you are cutting the strings. You are saying, okay, I am moving on. I forgive that person, or I forgive myself for whatever I have done in the past, and I move on. I let go. By letting go, by moving on, we give away or heal our past baggage. Let me tell you one more important thing about our past. And that is, we all have a small little baby or child within us. Do you agree? I'm sure, right? Must have experienced this. We all have a little child inside us, which is called the inner child. And this inner child is still there. We grew up. We physically we grew. We became whatever we are today. That inner child is still there, craving for love, craving for attention, craving for our affection. I love jumping in the puddle on the road. But today I will not do that. Why? Log kya kahenge? Right? I love going down the slides like little children. I still love doing that. But I will not do that today. Why? What will people say? ये इतना बड़ा आदमी कैसे नीचे झूला झूल रहा है? ये कैसे कर सकता है? We always suppress that inner child within us. By doing that, what is happening is that inner child is always unhappy. And because our inner child is unhappy, we feel unhappy as well. It's extremely, extremely important to spend at least some time during the day with that little child inside us, little baby inside us. Give that child this assurance that you are always there. You are listening to the child inside you, the little baby. You are listening to it, you are giving it love, you are giving it affection. When the little baby inner child is happy, you will feel happy as well. And that will give you real happiness, that will give you the deeper level of happiness, that will give you the true sense of happiness, which cannot be bought by even $1 million. So look after that inner child, give it as much affection as possible, give it as much love as possible. The inner child becomes, I'll give you an example. There was a lady, when she was young, teenager, she was very bubbly. Like, her inner child was really active. She was very bubbly, very happy, always making, one funny thing or the other, jumping on the bed, doing this, doing that. She was very bubbly. She passed out of college and her parents got her engaged. As soon as she got engaged, of course she was again still bubbly. नहीं, अभी तो तुम्हारी शादी होने वाली है, ये सब करके नहीं चलेगा. Right? शादी हो गई, वहां पर भी ससुराल में भी he was very, very bubbly. Everybody used to, like her bubbliness, cheerfulness. She got pregnant. अब तुम्हारा बच्चा होने वाला है, अभी ये सब करके नहीं चलेगा. अब तो तुम मां बनने वाली हो. Right? And everybody in the family started saying this to her कि अभी ये सब, अभी शांत हो जाओ, अभी तुम मां बनने वाली हो, अभी तुम्हारा ये सब चुलबुलापन बंद करना पड़ेगा. And she, of course, after pregnancy, she delivered a baby. After the baby, I met her sometime later when she had this baby, 6-month-old baby with her. I said, what happened to you? Why are you so quiet? नहीं, अब मैं ऐसी नहीं रह सकती because अब तो मैं माँ बन गई हूँ ना. What stops you from being cheerful? What stops you from being happy? You yourself, right? That's our conditioning. This is how our conditioning works. This is how our societal conditioning, parental conditioning, the conditioning in the school, everything. This is working like this on us. Society will say, अब ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए, and we live as per what others say. We rate ourselves as per what others talk about us. वो सब लोग बोलते हैं कि मैं I am not good enough. So I'm not good enough. And then what happens? My self-esteem dives down. I feel I am not worth. Because everybody feels so. people around me, my mom and dad feel, अरे इसको तो इस बार इसको पढ़ाई वढ़ाई नहीं करनी है, इसको ऐसे ही कुछ कर देते हैं, कहीं लगा देते हैं. Because my parents feel so, I also feel, oh, मुझे I am not worth. My husband feels, अरे my wife is थोड़ा सा बुद्धि से कमजोर है. So I also feel, हाँ मैं बुद्धि से कमजोर हूं. We live our lives on others' opinion. We rate ourselves by what others think about us, what others feel about us. Never thinking that when we came here, there was nobody to rate us, right? I was a pure soul. I was a pure little baby who had the world available to do extraordinary things. Then what happened? Then I got conditioned by society, by everything around me, and people started saying different things about me. I started believing that. And then I became what people want me to become, rather than what I wanted to become. And I got conditioned. So this is how our conditioning works. So this girl, she said, oh नहीं अभी तो मैं माँ बन गई हूँ, अभी मैं ये नहीं कर सकती. I said, what the heck? Why are you leaving your real nature? You are so happy, you are so bubbly, you are full of energy, and suddenly you have left everything. नहीं मेरे घर वाले बोलते हैं कि ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए. तो and it's a real life example. We all go through such things. So healing, when we say heal, we should also heal our inner child. We should give it a lot of love, attention, care, and see that our inner child is the happiest. When the inner child is happiest, we become happy as well. Okay, so the first dimension, the past, when we talked about the suppressed emotions, it's very difficult to conceal our emotions or conceal our past, but then we can heal our past. The H of the HLP, heal our past. Right? Then we come to the second dimension. The second dimension is the present. Now, Dr. Bhimani was mentioning about the book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I'm sure many of you must have read that book, The Power of Now. The present moment. What is this life all about? Where is life? Is it what has already gone? Or what is yet to come? Is the past we can call as life? Past is only in our memories, right? Is the future real life? Future is yet to come. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, day after, next month, next year. Life is happening now. When I am talking to you, you are so beautifully listening. That is where life is happening. घर पे जाके खाना खाएंगे कि नहीं खाएंगे, that is not life, because that's going to happen later. The present moment. And once we understand the importance of this moment, once we understand that whatever we need to do, whatever we need to achieve, whatever we need to try for achieving something in future, we need to take the step now. We need to decide now. That is where the importance of present moment comes, the power of now. Okay, and this moment is all we have. This moment is all we have. If we don't live this moment, we miss out on life completely. But what does this moment tell us? We have to have a direction in life, right? We need to know where we are moving towards, in what direction we are moving. So we need to know, यहाँ पर है तो सही, we have come here, हम जी तो रहे हैं, but किस लिए? What is the purpose? Why am I here? Once I start knowing that, once I start thinking about it, once I start finding what is my purpose, my life starts changing. Even I've seen miracles happening with various people. I need to know what is my purpose. I ask this question, and as Paulo Coelho says, you think about something, you dream about something, and the whole universe conspires to make that dream come true or give you the answer. इतनी शिद्दत से मैंने तुम्हें पाने की कोशिश की, हर जर्रे ने मुझे तुमसे मिलाने की साजिश की है. The moment we start thinking about this question, what is my purpose, the whole universe will start conspiring to give us the answer. And it's such a beautiful feeling. You'll find, suddenly somebody comes and tells, oh, you must do this. I think you are very good in this. Or suddenly some change in your life happens where you start doing something which you already like. And you think, oh, is that my purpose? Is that what I am here for? I'll give you my example. I never wanted to become an engineer. Okay, I was very good singer, and I was very good in painting, drawing. मैंने कहा मैं आर्ट्स ले लेता हूँ. And said, father said, no, but लड़के कभी आर्ट्स लेते हैं क्या? How is it possible? तुम्हें तो इंजीनियर बनना चाहिए. हमने तो सपने देखे हैं मेरा बेटा इंजीनियर बनेगा. तो how can you take art or you go in singing? नहीं नहीं नहीं, ये करियर नहीं होता, ये तो वैसे साइड में करते रहो. I said fine. उस समय तो 8th स्टैंडर्ड में 9th स्टैंडर्ड में जब सब्जेक्ट लेने होते हैं तो वैसे भी पेरेंट्स की सुननी पड़ती है. आजकल बच्चे तो खुद डिसीजन लेते नहीं है. ये सब साइड में करते रहो. क्रिकेट खेलना है साइड में करते रहो. I said fine. All my friends joined, took mathematics. I took mathematics. All my friends gave engineering entrance exam. I gave engineering entrance exam as well. Unfortunately, I got selected. Now what? I'm already in the engineering college. अब उसमें तो एक ही, there is only one way, right? You cannot come out of the other way. You have to come out as an engineer only. So I became an engineer by default, not by choice. Now what? So I have to find a job. I said, जॉब ऐसी जगह ढूंढूंगा जहां पे मुझे कुछ करने का मौका मिले. मुझे सिंगिंग में मौका मिलेगा बम्बई जाके. I was born and brought up in Gwalior. So बॉम्बे चलते हैं. बॉम्बे जाके मुझे कुछ मौका मिलेगा. I can meet some music directors. ये वो क्रिकेट खेलेंगे. Because father had said कि भाई जो करना है वो नौकरी करने के बाद करो, पहले नहीं करना है, पढ़ाई करो. तो ठीक है भाई पढ़ाई. I was not very good academically, but anyways. So I came to Bombay. Then slowly things, years started going. I was so busy in my work. 17 years passed, but I could not do what I wanted to do. Then I realized, am I really doing what I really like in the corporate world? Yes, I was able to move around the whole world. I could go to different countries, travel a lot, but something was missing. Something was there which I didn't really like about it. And then I said, oh no, I have to think about that. I have to think about something which I really want to do. And one of my dreams was to guide or heal people, to guide people in their lives. I used to dream that I am talking in front of a stadium of people. And I said, wo kuch kaise kar paunga? How can I do that? And suddenly things started changing in my life. I got one person who later on became my physical guru. And he taught me, he said, there's a meditation technique, there's this, that. And I started doing some things which really, I started getting interested in such things, deeper meaning of life. Started reading the book. But the first book I remember I bought when I was a little kid. I didn't understand the meaning that time. I was in 4th standard. I went to a bookstall with my father and I ran and bought a book on meditation by Swami Chinmayananda. I never read that book that time. I didn't even understand what meditation means. But I bought that book. I found my purpose. And when I found my purpose, by doing, after 17 years, I said, I should not leave. Because something which gives me real happiness I'm not going to leave that for something as mundane as what I was doing in the corporate world. So I left and started. So finding what you're here for, finding what really gives you happiness, finding what is your real, where your heart is, and then working towards it gives you real sense of accomplishment, of fulfillment, of inner peace and happiness. So we must all try and do that. Once we find our purpose, we need to make a choice. Like I did. I'm sure everyone must have come to a point where we all have to make a choice. Once we find our purpose, we have to make a choice. Every moment is a crossroad. And every moment we have a choice to go one way or the other. But we have to make a choice. And whatever choices we make, that makes our path or prepares our path, that we can actually see whether we are going in one direction or the other direction. But the destiny is really in our hands. The choice is really in our hands. That's my story actually. So once you find your purpose, you have to make a choice. Choice between anger or love. For example, there's a situation where somebody has done something to me. I have a choice whether I have to become angry on that person or I can be compassionate with that person. हो जाएगा, मतलब हम लोग से सोचते हैं अरे उसने मुझसे ये बोला है, how can I not give back, get angry on that person. We have a choice of being angry or being compassionate. If we are compassionate, our reaction will automatically solve the situation. A choice between working out of fear or working out of courage. Many situations in life will come across where we might feel, अरे यहाँ पे तो अपनी दाल गलने वाली नहीं है, right? मुझे लगता नहीं है कि मैं ये कर पाऊंगा. And we start working out of fear. But choice is really in our hands. ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा क्या होगा? I will fail. But I feel failure is a real success. Because unless you fail, one cannot succeed. Am I right? Do you agree with me? Failure is really a stepping stone to success. People who have never failed have never tasted real success. Because unless you make mistakes, unless you fail, that basically means you are not doing anything worthwhile. You are not taking steps in the direction of where you want to go. अगर मैं बैठा रहूंगा तो I will never make a mistake. Life चल रही है. Right? But is that what we want? Is that, do I really want a static life which is just taking me somewhere? I don't know. I will go to the office, come back in the evening, spend some time with my family, sleep in the night, get up again in the morning. Sunday को एक आध picture देख लेंगे. That's it. Is that kind of life I really want for me? Or I want an extraordinary life. I want to become something extraordinary. I want to do something which I myself will feel, yes, I've done something in life. I've been something in life. I have fulfilled my real ambition, my real goals. If that is what we want, तब खाली बैठ के नहीं चलेगा. तब तो कुछ करना पड़ेगा. और कुछ करने से हम लोग मिस्टेक्स करेंगे. We will definitely do mistakes. We will definitely fail. But be sure, if you are making enough mistakes in life, if you are failing enough number of times, you will get to that point where you will feel successful, where you will get that real taste of success. So all these are basically matters of choice. Choice between acceptance or resistance. Many times situations are there which we simply accept, or we may resist a situation. But by resisting a situation, we are going against the flow. right? By resisting a situation, what is happening is, always remember, whatever is happening around us in the universe is happening as per larger plan. And once we understand that, it's very easy to accept things and move on, instead of getting stuck to a situation and resisting. The more we resist, the more those things persist. So this is a mantra, and we all must see how we can do our best in that. Once we have made a choice, then we need to take the first step, because unless we take the first step, we are not going to move ahead. Choice is made. Now what we need to do is go ahead. एक कार रात भर ठंडी पड़ी हुई है, ठंड में सपोज नेक्स्ट डे मॉर्निंग उसको चालू करते हैं तो चालू नहीं होती है. Why? We need to put the first gear. Lot of things need to be done. The car is under inertia, right? The Newton's first law of inertia. The body is in rest, remains at rest, or body in motion remains in motion unless and until an external force is applied to it, right? The force of inertia. So we have to, even in our life, we are going through inertia. Unless we take the first step, we are not going to remove that state of inertia. We have to move, we have to take the first step. And when we take that first step, only then we can move ahead. And it has to be a consistent basis. It has to be a consistent requirement. First step leke, then we need to be unstoppable. Once we have taken the first step, then we need to keep on moving. There are instances, there are examples, real life examples, where people who have had extraordinary challenges in their life, they never stopped. If you have watched this movie called 127 Hours, Aaron Ralston. Aaron Ralston was the person who actually amputated his right arm when it was under a boulder in Utah. Have you watched the movie 127 Hours? So after he came back, he amputated his arm with a very blunt knife. He came back alive, but then he was in hospital. Doctors told him that you have only few weeks because you have got gangrene in your right arm. And he started thinking, I have done all this manner, all this haath vaat kaat ke main aa gaya. Have I really done this to die in hospital? No. I have done this to live. So how can I die? He said, no, I have to live. His sheer willpower helped him to come out of that gangrene situation. And today he has started mountaineering again. He has started climbing again. He became the first amputee to ski down the highest mountain in US. So life doesn't stop. We stop. Life will pose challenges in front of us. But if we stop, we are giving way to challenges. So we have to take the first step, and then we need to be unstoppable. Unless we are unstoppable, life will, there are a lot of things happening in life. We can't say, kya hoga kal? But most important thing what we are talking here about now is to be happy. And happiness is only in the present moment. Happiness is not in the past, not in the future. Happiness is only in the present moment. Happiness is only a state of mind. Happiness cannot be generated out of something. I'll be happy only if I own a Bentley convertible. I get a Bentley convertible, now I want an island of my own. वो भी मिल गया, अब क्या चाहिए? अब तो मुझे मार्स पे जाना है, तभी मैं हैप्पी होऊंगा. Happiness cannot be dependent on what you do or what you have. Happiness is only a state of mind. Have you seen little children on street children, they don't have anything. But do you see the happiness on their face? They really look happy because it's in their state of mind. They're happily playing on the street. They don't even care whether anybody is looking after them, whether they have the clothes, whether they have the proper footwear, whether, nothing. They will be happy because they know happiness is only a state of mind. Children can really teach you how to be happy. And that is why I say, one needs to be really like a child when if you want to be happy. A child is innocent and he knows that happiness is not dependent on the on the circumstances. It's only a state of mind. Happiness is only a state of mind. This question may be asked by many people, right? But whatever happens, you can still be happy. You can happily be running in front of the bull, right? So the second dimension, the present moment. The L of the HLP, which basically says live your present. And now we come to the third dimension, which is the future. And what future is all about. What is the future? If you look at future, future is only a matrix of possibilities. It's a fluid situation. Nothing is fixed. It's only a fluid situation. Do you agree with me? कल क्या होगा ये कुछ भी हो सकता है, right? कल मुझे खाना मिलेगा या नहीं मिलेगा, depends on whether I go home today or not, right? या एक महीने बाद मुझे कुछ होगा या नहीं होगा, depends on what action I take today. Future is only possibilities. Future is only a fluid situation. Nothing is fixed. We create our future by taking an action today in the present moment. Right? So a matrix of possibilities. What we need to do about future to help us out of insecurities, help us out of the fear of the future, is to plan our future. Okay, we cannot be insecure about the future, but we can definitely plan. In my workshops, what I do, I ask people to make their bucket list. I'm sure you must have watched this movie called Bucket List, the Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson. Have you watched this movie? The Bucket List. If you have not watched, I'm sure you'll get it in any video library, or you can download it. It's a beautiful movie. It says there are two terminally ill patients, and they have only a few months to live, both Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman. They make the list of things they want to do before they die. And then they go around the world doing those things. They want, one of them wants to climb Mount Everest, they want to drive the fastest car in the world and all those things, ride a motorcycle on the Great Wall of China, stuff like this. So we all must do that. We all must make a list of things which we want to do in life before we kick our bucket, before we leave our body. And once we do that, we know ये मुझे achieve करना है, ये मुझे करना है इस life में. Once we do that, our life becomes very interesting. It's like a business. Business में हम लोग क्या करते हैं? हम लोग scheduling करते हैं, right? हम लोग कोई भी चीज targets हैं, targets को पहले set करते हैं, उसके बाद हम लोग उसको scheduling करते हैं. We have so much time, we have so much work to do, then we schedule. कि how we schedule? Life is exactly like that. We have some goals, we have a limited amount of time. Suppose an average age is 75 years. On an average, okay, out of that 75 years, if I am say 35-year-old, I have lost how many years are left? 40 years, right? Is that correct? I am bad in mathematics. 40 years left. Out of 40, I can leave say 10 years, because in the end 10 years I may not be able to do, I may not have enough energy to pursue my goals. Remaining is 30. Now, out of those 30 years, how am I going to plan to achieve my goals in life, what I want to do in life? If I plan that way, then I am conscious each moment that I need not waste my time. I have to achieve some things in life. There are some important things. Business life. If the biggest regret a person has on his deathbed is that I could not utilize my full potential. I don't want to do that. So I will plan accordingly. I will make my life a success. How will I make a success? I have to schedule, I have to plan, I have to prepare myself in that. And I also want to become a visionary. How do we plan? I cannot plan by what others talk about me. I will plan according to what I feel. I will plan what others have not even thought about. If Wright brothers had agreed or had gone by what people talked about them, we would never have seen the aeroplanes. Wright brothers, when they were making aeroplanes, everybody was against them. Everybody was saying, ये क्या कर रहे हैं, पता नहीं क्या कर रहे हैं, ये successful नहीं होने वाले हैं. But they still kept on working. They were visionaries. They made the plane, they made aeroplane and made it successful. And then everybody said, oh, this is a very good thing. This can transport us from one place to the other without any problem. And hence we have today's aeroplanes. Be a visionary in whatever you are planning for your own life. Think 10 years ahead. Think 20 years ahead. Nobody will be even be able to imagine. And once you think like that, once you plan your life like that, once you plan your life, schedule it, prepare for it, you'll really feel, yes, I'm doing something in my life. I'm really working towards a successful and fulfilled life. That will give you happiness. Do you agree? So be a visionary, be prepared, because eventualities and challenges will come unannounced. They don't announce that they are coming. We need to be prepared for any eventuality, any challenges, any opportunities. We need to be prepared for everything in life. Be prepared. There was one person I know, a photographer, a very renowned photographer in Mumbai, and he had all the equipment. You know, he had a lab where he used to जो film धोते हैं, क्या कहते हैं उसको, black room, dark room, developing room, all those things. Times changed. Came 2000, 2001, 2002, digital cameras started coming. So suddenly his business started going down, because everybody now wants digital pictures. तो वो dark room का कौन क्या करेगा, right? So he started learning how digital photography is done. He learned Photoshop. He learned so many different other technologies. Today he is again a successful photographer because he kept himself abreast with the changes around him. We need to be prepared about the changes, about the challenges, about whatever things are happening around us. Unless we are prepared, unless we plan, we can't be abreast. Then we go down. जैसे सब लोग जी रहे हैं वैसे हम भी जिएंगे. Do we really want to do that? No, right? We want to be extraordinary in our life, and that's why we need to plan on our life. One very important factor which helps us in our planning is called faith. Faith in yourself, faith in the universe will really be like a, बोलते हैं ना कि लाठी होती है, लाठी जिसके सहारे हम लोग बहुत चल सकते हैं. Trekkers, they use a stick. Faith can really help you go a long way in your life. And believe me, I have experienced that, and once you have faith in yourself, your own abilities, faith in the universe, that everything is happening as per a larger plan. And everything, whatever is happening around you, is basically to help you go to great heights. Once you accept that, once you know that, and work according to those plans, I'm sure you are going to be very successful in your life. Last, most important point which I want to make here, and it is really very important because today morning only I was having a discussion with my very good friend who's present here, Mani, and we have been talking about something which is really close to my heart as well as his heart. Leaving a legacy. Legacy, basically, all of us know that legacy basically is, leaving a will for the people who are your own children or grandchildren or people who are going to look after you or whatever it is. But I really believe legacy is much more than that. Legacy is something which you leave or give back to the Mother Earth, to the society, to the community, to the people around you. We have been taking all the time, right? We take so many things. Does Mother Earth ask why, how can I give you so many things? She just gives, right? Does Mother Nature put any condition? No. Do our parents put any condition while giving us something? No. Does the society, does the community? No. We need to give back, because ultimately everything is a balance of energy. Everything in the world is about balance of energy. So whatever we are getting from the nature, from society, from community, we need to make it a point to give it back in some way or the other. Whatever the contribution is, it may be a small contribution, it may be a big contribution, doesn't matter. Whatever way, whatever your capacity is, make sure in some way you give it back to the society. And I'm sure the fulfillment, the kind of peace you feel after giving something back, and do it anonymously. Okay, I've seen many people, doing things and then they want their name on top of it. If you do it anonymously or nobody knowing, just give something to somebody and don't even ask the name, and see what happens. एक बहुत interesting कहानी है. There was one lady and एक छोटा सा बच्चा है, and he said कि मुझे खाने के लिए नहीं है, कुछ खाने के लिए दो, something like that. I'm sure you must have heard this story. So she brought him inside. उसको दूध पीने के लिए दिया, एक glass दूध में दिया. She said, I have only this, but you have this milk. He was very happy. He went off. After some time, that little boy, he grew in his life. He got opportunities. He became a multi-millionaire. And he went into a different city altogether. He read in a newspaper that एक कोई lady है जिसको she's in hospital critically ill and she wants to undergo some organ transplant operation and she doesn't have money. So suddenly उसने देखा कि नाम क्या था, तो it was the same name of that lady. So he goes back. He goes to the hospital, gives the money, and उसका ऑपरेशन वगैरह सब होता है. तो डॉक्टर सेड कि जब ये he starts going, he said I don't want to stay here, I want to go back. So doctor said इसको क्या बताना है? What do we tell this lady who helped you? So he said just tell her that I am just giving back the glass of milk what she gave me. Right? So we must try and do something which will really make us feel fulfilled, feel happy. And all these will really, I can assure you that if you follow all these principles, if you follow the HLP of life, this is basically the plan your future, but the HLP of life, heal, live and plan, you'll really find some kind of change, some kind of miracles start happening in your life, and that will make your life more and more, you'll find that inner spurt of happiness coming in, your inner bliss, inner peace, and you'll really feel happy from inside. You'll feel successful, you'll feel satisfied with your life, that you are really doing something in your life. And that's why I say the HLP are the 3 keys which I have made available in the book Keys. Please do read this book, and I'm sure this is going to make a difference in your life. And of course you are free to let me know on my email IDs and phone numbers available on the, you can take it outside. But I hope you like this book, and I will be really happy even if one person feels that this book is really life-changing for him or her. It will really make this book a success for me. So thank you very much again.